Welcome into Mileage May Vary. I'm Dawn.
And I'm John.
And I did that backwards than what I usually do, didn't I? I feel like it's been a few weeks.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Y'all know
We're
where y'all are at.
remember now?
Oh,
Freestyle
yeah.
is wide open.
Oh, yeah. And you and I have been busy bees lately, huh?
I've been sitting around the house napping all day. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, not today, but we've been running around like crazy for the past month.
Past couple of months, it started back early February. If you roll the camera back now, back in January, we kicked off and we did stuff in December and we did stuff in November. I didn't even go hunting this year. We were so busy.
Oh, yeah?
I never had a weekend available to take off to go down there and do any hunting.
You did get to do some fishing, though, so that's good at least.
The month of April, nothing. I only got one thing on my schedule the month of April, and I'm going to go hook up with some friends of mine, and I'm going to ride my ATVs.
Oh,
I haven't done that in a long, long time.
Those death traps you were trying to get me to ride in?
They're not death traps. They will get you muddy, but they ain't death trap by no means.
Yeah, that would be a sideline activity for me. No.
It's definitely nowadays a sideline. We used to be, me and Hop was going all the time sidelining.
Yeah.
We went out one time, we spent all day, and I laid the thing on its side 3 times.
Yeah. Like I said, death trap.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've only been hurt in it one time. I got the education on how that happened, and I didn't wear my seatbelt.
So now you wear your seatbelt.
When I'm doing extreme stuff, it gets a seatbelt applied. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you learned. Unfortunately, it was the hard way, but I guess you got to learn.
That's why this forehead's the way it is. The hard way. That's going to be the name of my next class.
Oh,
the hard way.
Well, maybe we should. You might be getting some interesting signups for that. Maybe we'll workshop that name.
Shit you don't know, the hard way.
There we go. That's a little better. Well, let's kick it off with the first big event that we went to that we haven't talked about yet, which is an event that was built for people like me, but you somehow made it in there, the Women in Auto Care. Tell me about your experience with that.
Doubtfire made that, yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about that.
Michael Gunter hooked me up with that one.
Oh, yeah. I'll be showing that picture, too.
Folks, I didn't get dressed up like Miss Doubtfire. Michael Gunter hooked me up, and it was all done how he does things. We don't ask Michael a lot of questions because Big Bird got his trade secrets, kind of like Big O. Big O's got his trade secrets, too. I don't know if you've seen the new logo of the ACP or not, but, hey, what an event. The Women in Auto Care. We got to meet a lot of great women and got to do, I think we did 9 or 15 interviews with women. Some women, it was like they'd been going to that event forever, and there's some of them, that was their first time, and they were like welcomed in, they made new friends, and God, it's so cool for me to stick my head behind the curtain. And I wanted to say look up a skirt, but I knew better.
Yeah, you're learning that forehead.
My buddy Rick, he rode back with me, and he was saying, John, just some things you say are just inappropriate. So I'm working on installing a filter.
Thank you, Rick. You and I have been working on it a little bit, but sometimes you got to have an outside perspective to tell you something. If family tells you something, sometimes it don't stick.
Well, and example me, I've been twisting on nuts and bolts and wrenches all my life, and they don't talk back, and I can talk I ever want to with them, and the things I've done in my life, I didn't have an audience. A lot of times I just do it by myself. So this audience thing is coming around. I'm learning. I used to get in trouble all the time because I opened that mouth. So I'm learning not to open that mouth. Like my buddy says, Hop is my buddy, by the way. He says, shut the F up. So the amazing thing about that is I don't get in trouble as much.
Good. And you still get in trouble.
Oh
So I
yeah,
can
as
only
much.
imagine what it was like. Well, yeah. So we went to Women in Auto Care, and it was awesome because it was you and I went. We met. We talked to Missy. We said, "Hey, we want to be a part of this. We want to see what y'all got going on. Show some love and
What a
support."
powerhouse.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah. And then we got to actually bring Krista, a technician from your shop, which was amazing.
She,
For those who don't know, Buckaroo Buck and Bob here has told some stories about Krista going to is it Chippendales?
well,
Well,
yeah, what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas, okay?
oh, okay, my bad. I
But
wasn't
when
there.
we're walking down Fremont Street, the Chippendale guys had the little show and tell booth up, and we put her in the camera in the spotlight with the guys, and she had a ball. And
Mm-hmm.
what her and Jacob did later that afternoon was left in Vegas.
We'll leave it at that. But she's very when you think of technicians, sometimes you think of like somebody, at least for me, outside perspective, like
Okay.
confident. You know, they're doing these things. They may be a little more open. And Krista
Hmm.
is very reserved. Krista in public very much does not want to be in the spotlight, can get anxious in large settings. You were telling me, you know, she had a hard time with some other events in the past.
You
So,
know, the first time we took her to an event, it was way overwhelming for her to be around that many people.
mhm.
And today, ah, chins up, she barges, runs right on through that crowd, not a problem. Golly, the girl has, when she first come to work for me, did not want to socialize.
Mhm.
I mean, she went with her group tight. I mean, real tight.
Mhm.
But today, oh, she don't have no problem at all telling John Firm where to stop at. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
And it's nice to see like taking Krista and really helping her come out of her shell and like create these connections in the automotive industry being a woman. As she we went to the event and I was, you know, I do school, I go to school, I work with TTST, and then I go to events. So sometimes during these networking things, I need a timeout. I don't have a big social battery like you do. And so I remember one night, it was a night of drinking and hooting and hollering and all of that. And I had to bow out. I was just at my limit. And she said, I'll go. And I said, okay. And she went, and man, she had a blast. I had
Yeah.
people texting me. Ash texted me later. She said, your girl's on the dance floor dancing. And I was like, Krista? She's like, oh, yeah, she's having a blast. So it was
I
nice
love
that
it.
she was able to be around other powerful women and come out of that shell and make some lasting relationships out there.
She is so matured, so much. You know, me
Mm-hmm.
and Winston were having a talk about her this morning, how proud I am of her.
Mm.
You know, her accomplishments, where she's at in life, and it's been really cool to watch her journey and how she's gotten better.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I'm excited to see even more growth with her and tag along with her in these events and kind of pushing her past her comfort zone a little bit so she
Yeah,
can even make more connections. And yeah, I'm excited for her. She's going to be a powerhouse.
she is.
Mm-hmm.
She's awesome. She's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be. She's gonna be. I'm telling you.
Yes, and yes, and. But after Women in Auto Care, we took another. That was right in our backyard. It was in Fort Worth, Texas,
It
and
was downtown Fort Worth.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, it was real nice.
yeah.
But after that, we loaded up the whole shop and we headed to Kansas.
Just like always, when we have these national train events, like the one that happened in Kansas, everybody goes. And I feel it's such a big need that we all go. We all go to training. We all network together, and we go see these wonderful people that are at these events.
Mm-hmm. And for those of you who don't know, Kansas, it is Vision. Vision is the event that was being held in Kansas, and they do it in Kansas every year, right?
Vision High Tech Training. It's always the first week of March, always has been for as far back as I can remember. I don't remember not going, but I know there's a lot of people that have been going longer than I have. Okay. It was a little bitty small event back when they were going. And then when I went, they just blew up great. Ah,
Mm-hmm.
I love talking like that. That's just static. But anyway, you know, the networking opportunities at Vision, the love, compassion, and care is just overboard with the people that are dedicated to work on that show.
Mm-hmm.
It's m- my support for Vision is 100%. I've only missed 1 year that I can remember for a situation, but I want to tell you another story. Not a lot of people know this. I drove all the way to Vision, and I didn't have anybody signed up for it. To sign up for Techmetric at Vision with my buddy Todd Westerland. And that's the only reason why I went to Vision. I drove from Fort Worth, Texas. I left Saturday morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, so I wouldn't miss Vision, so I would be there.
Mm-hmm.
That's my passion for Vision. I love it.
And it was my first time there, and that was my, I went to Mid Atlantic Auto Care,
Yep.
and
That
I
was
went
Super
to
Saturday.
Super Saturday. I went to Women in Auto Care, and those are big events. They're not small by any means, but Vision is big, and I hear that ain't nothing compared to, what is it, Vegas.
Apex and SEMA. Vision had roughly probably 3,800 people, and Super Saturday had 450 people,
Mm-hmm.
roughly. I think the numbers are not correct to Super Saturday, but I bet I'm really close.
Yeah.
You know, Tools had over 700 people at it. When I went to Tools last November, which they changed it, it's coming up here. When's this going to be released?
I'm hoping I get it out tomorrow.
Okay, so the next event that's coming up is Tools. It's coming up in Pennsylvania, Hershey. So if you got a place that you want to take your wife to, that's one she's going to go to, folks. The one at Hershey's Tools, Pennsylvania, Mid-Atlantic Auto Care Alliance. Then we have Gary at FLACA. How you like that? Florida
Flacca.
Auto Care Alliance. Gary Keys is working diligently hard to put that program on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, things are coming up pretty quick this month of April, but dear old sweet loving Buckaroo Bob gets to stay home.
There we go. Get you some R&R, rest and relaxation.
Oh, I need that recharge so bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So with this being my first time at Vision, I was blown away. I was like, oh, this is amazing. Met a bunch of amazing people, some powerhouses in the industry. Not
Yes.
only trainers and speakers, but shop owners who are there, who are
Huge, yes.
bringing their technicians, and then vendors too. Some powerful vendors as well being there supporting the
Hey, Rick
industry.
White was there.
Oh, absolutely. Rick White, Coralie Zueff. We had, and
Say her last name again.
I say Zueff.
I don't. Good. I'm glad. That's why she pronounced it on the podcast I was watching with the. Oh my God, I'm stumbling. Come on now. What podcast was she doing? We is that Vision?
Jada Mechanic?
No.
Oh, at Vision?
No. When we were at San.
Oh, Canadian.
The shop in, not the word and, in the letter.
In.
Tread podcast.
Yeah, and
Talk
you
podcast.
crashed that party.
Out. Yeah, and what's funny is I finally got a chance to listen to them today. Okay, and just as soon as I walked in, and Coralie says, "Hey, here comes John." She said, "Oh no, Buckaroo, Buck, and Bob," and then you could hear the guy go, "Oh," and it just stopped. The show quit right there.
Oh no.
That was so funny. They were at the beginning. They were talking about how dedicated I am in the training and how great and awesome Buckaroo, Buck, and Bob is. Nobody called me by my name yet. Okay,
Yeah.
just Buckaroo, Buck, and Bob at that point. And I said, "Dad, this is cool. I'm liking this." So hey, we met him in Rick's booth at Vision. I don't know if you were there, but I was there.
Yeah.
There's so much going on for me, but I remember talking to him for a few minutes. And he invited me on their podcast. And I said, "Hey, just as soon as I get Texas two-step out of the way, I would like to come on." So that probably one of the next things I do in the next couple of weeks is
Okay.
I wind up being on his podcast, which is the Shop in Tread Talk podcast. This is two guys that own automotive repair business or work as mechanics in their automotive repair business. Azan, I believe his dad and him own the shop together, and it's a big shop. Then Frank, I believe he owns a shop, and he is the mechanic still in the shop. So they have a different twist view of what I want to bring to the table. I want to bring my opinion. I want to bring the training that I have, some thoughts that I have that will help the automotive repair industry do better. Change. That's what we're looking for.
There we go. So keep an eye out for that. And then So tell me, this was my first rodeo at Vision, not your first rodeo. With this year's event, what impressed you the most compared to previous years?
The impression that I got from this year was the feeling of the trade show. It was totally different. And the connection that I made with strangers I didn't even know.
Mm,
Just people that, oh, you're Buck and Bob. You know, people want to see me and thank me for being there. And we walk on the trade show floor, and some of the older companies got new salespeople, and I'm getting to meet the new salespeople. It and going down there and spending time with my buddy Jimmy Lee, that was awesome. And
hmm
it's just seemed like the atmosphere was so much more of caring and helping and pitching in.
hmm
Then I felt that way more than I've ever felt any other time. And it was a great feeling. I really did like it. And that's from my heart. I loved it.
hmm Which I guess that brings me to a side point here. Think back now, I know this was a long time ago, but think back of when you were turning wrenches
Uh-huh.
and the stress of being a shop owner, a leader, all of that's on your shoulders, to now where you can walk into these events and people know you, they like you, they trust you, they have love for you, they hold on your neck. Did you ever picture that happening when you were that young technician, that young business owner?
Oh no. No way. The only thing I had on my mind then was, how do I fix this car? My mindset, okay, was of a mechanic.
Hmm
Okay. I was worried about the car. I didn't study negotiation. I didn't study how to take care of the customer. I knew that if I fixed the car, that was taking care of a customer. Well, there's so much more to taking care of a car. And attending a few management classes, like Rick White, Cecil Bullard, and them guys, okay, had really, really changed the way I do things and the way I think. But I remember my first time to Vision. Oh my God, to see the crowd, see all the people, and I wasn't reaching out trying to make friends.
hmm
I was just trying to go through the crowd. I remember when the lady that started Shopware
hmm
had a little bitty corner booth, and her name is Caroline. She's no longer part of Shopware, I think. I think she sold that company. But anyway, I remember it was just her on the corner by herself, and she
mm
was showing it off. And I looked at it and I watched it, and I said, I'll never use any of that. My paper worked just fine.
Yeah.
God, I wish I'd have had a better open mind back in.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I'd probably still be with Shopware today if I'd have started back in the day. Yeah.
There we go.
And she was a power. She's another one of those women that I met in my life that's just another powerhouse, awesome person.
Awesome. Speaking of Cecil, I got to meet him. He was sitting when you were chatting with Jimmy. He came and take a
Yeah.
seat. And I
Yeah.
shook his hand and I chatted with him a little bit. And he said,
What a mountain of a man, huh?
"Yeah, I didn't get to chat with him much. I knew him because I've heard the name. I knew he was well known, so I wasn't trying to bother him too much. He'd probably been shaking hands all day and talking to
Oh, you
people,
know it.
so I didn't
Yeah.
want to. I know what that's like to be having to
That's
put
what I,
on,
yeah.
So I just shook his hand, introduced myself, and he told me it wasn't exactly like this, something along these lines. I said that you were my uncle, and he said something along the lines of, "I've known your uncle probably." He either said just as long or longer than you've been alive, something like that.
Probably so. Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was cool seeing him finally, like getting to see him in person since I've heard his name from several people.
I have learned so much from that man,
Yeah.
in my life. Of course, he'll probably forget more than I'll ever know, but
hmm
he's passed his training down to his son, his knowledge, and it's amazing me how much Kent Bullard has taken the reins of the institute and ran with it, and that business has grown so much.
Oh,
And
Kent
and
is
they
his son?
still, yeah, Kent is his son.
I didn't know that.
Oh, Kent is so cool.
Oh,
And
Kent is real
and
cool.
yeah, and he's a musician.
That's what
So
the
if
guitar
you did
picks were. I got one in
exactly,
my
his
backpack.
dad made them for me. When I was unloading my stuff, I come across my guitar pick. I found it. I got it. It was shoved off in my backpack, the one he gave me, he mailed it to me. The Institute backpack. I wear that place everywhere. Got in trouble for wearing it this last weekend,
Did
but
you? At our
yeah,
thing?
Rick got over it.
No. Yeah.
That was so funny. Poor old Rick. He said,
Poor Rick.
I'm gonna get you a backpack. I said, you've been saying that for years.
Oh man. Yeah, I didn't know Kent's daddy was Cecil. That's
Yeah.
that makes sense now with some things that people were saying to him, but Kent's a cool dude. I speaking of, applying a filter, I was already at my limit that day. I was talking to Kent, he was asking me questions, we were shooting the shit. And I won't repeat it here, but I said something stupid as hell on accident. And I sat there and I looked at him and I kept talking and I was like, man, Kent, I should just learn to shut the fuck up, huh? And he was laughing his ass off. I'm like, all right, well, I'll talk to you later, bud. We had a good time about it, but man, he's a cool dude. Jimmy's a cool dude. Cecil was very nice. Who was old buddy that bought me a beer and we sat and talked with him on the last day? I forget his name.
Where'd we meet him at?
Well, he was in the trade show and he bought me a beer and I stepped back and was talking while you and Gunther were walking.
Oh, that was that software program that helps you run your business. And I forget who that was.
Oh, okay.
And he reached out to me via an email. And by golly, I can't remember who that was. Yeah, he scanned my badge, which actually gave him my email address. And a couple of days later after Vision, I got an email from him.
Oh.
So yeah, that was cool.
Okay.
Yeah, because he offered me a beer too. And I said, not right now. I'm working. Like
gotcha.
he was, but he was relaxing, trying to make sales. But that was so cool.
He was a cool dude. And he sat with us later and, he wasn't super salesy or nothing. He was just shooting the shit. He was real nice.
So what the great thing about it is? The lobby of the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
When you're not in classroom, you're not on the trade show floor. Well, when the trade show floor is over with, let me say it like that. Is all the cool people land at the hotel restaurant and lobby. And don't be afraid, just walk up to the table and start talking, because that's why we're there.
Mm-hmm.
So people, we network at that event. There's so much things take place, change hands, network. Oh my God. Just the people that come through there is amazing.
We should get a sign or add something to a jacket that says like, chat with me, talk with us. Like, because there's these new people that haven't been to this event, so they don't know nothing about.
They don't know the lingo. They don't know the rules.
And they don't know if they can talk to you.
When they're walking past us, they're just kind of looking at us or ignoring us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, come here, talk to me. Or like Sammy kept doing with Automotive. She kept writing her name on the back of my jacket. I kept laughing. I love old Sammy. I've known her for a long time too. But having that camaraderie amongst all of us that work together, and I could just go on and on about that. It's just, the people that are first, there was 1,500 and something first-time attendees at Vision, and you were one of them.
Mm-hmm. I sure was.
Chris has been 3 times. Jacob's been 3 times. Winston's been a bunch of times. He's been working for 12 years. So, you were the only newbie among. Oh, Joseph. Joseph was the other newbie. So I brought 2 of the 1,500 people. So
we had Women in Auto Care. Then we go to Vision. And then we did something that's a little outside of trade shows. If you're leaving Vision, I want to go back to it. Okay, let's go back. Oh, my bad. Go ahead. Go ahead. Because Kim Walker posted on Facebook one day, I can't do Vision. And Amazing Women in Automotive are having breakfast. And I asked you, I said, would you go to breakfast? You said, yeah. So I answered to her. And I told Kim, I said, my niece, Dawn, I tagged you, wants that ticket for breakfast. And then we bought Chris a ticket for breakfast. And y'all came back with a great, wonderful story about y'all's experience with Amazing Women in Automotive. What was it? Oh, yeah. A couple of things. First off, to be able to have, and I haven't told you much about it because it's a women's event and it's for women to know about. Yeah, I need to put my Miss Doubtfire outfit on and learn. Yeah. So I'll leave out the. As Tanika says, fix my lipstick. Yeah. I'll leave out the Chippendale stories of it, but outside of the fun stuff, the amazing thing was going in there, of course, meeting all these badass women, getting to chat with them, see what they do in the industry for the industry. We got to meet some recipients of some, not scholarships, but kind of like that. right? And then the young lady that was boothing with Cora Lee, she helped sponsor that too.
The
So,
CPA.
I
don't
and
remember her name. Do you?
I don't.
She was from Canada too, wasn't she?
I'm not sure. I didn't get to chat with her
She's
too
on the West
much.
Coast. I know that.
Oh, okay, gotcha. But got to meet a lot of people there, and then, funnily enough, sitting down at the dinner table, chatting with all the lovely women, the lady sitting next to me worked at Shop Marketing Pros. And I said, "Oh, Kim is actually the one that gave me the ticket." So, small world. We chatted about that and had a good old time.
Was it Coraline?
It might have been.
Was she a little bitty girl?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
that
so.
sounds
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
She's such a sweetheart. She's another super person. I love her.
And I feel bad with names. First off, I'm already bad at names. I'm working on it. I'll get there. But second, I'm new going into these events, so I'm meeting 100 people, and I'm trying to get names and faces. So sorry if I've forgotten your name. I'll start giving you a name like John does to people.
That's the best thing to do.
There we go. There we go. But no, it was amazing to be around all those women. Powerful women that really care about what's going on in the industry.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, it was fantastic. And then I'm trying to think if there was anything else that was crazy. No, I mean, we
Y'all got up real early and went to that breakfast. And Krista was there with breakfast. And she got to meet these people too. And it just was super that you two got in there.
Oh, yeah.
What an opportunity.
Oh, yeah. And then she was on to class and I was on to find you, and we did our thing. And then we got to eat some good food that 2-3 days we were there too.
Did you know about the video I did for the... You don't?
No, I
So
heard...
you don't know how bad I thumbed that up either, do you?
I heard you talking about something, and I've been like, this is too stressful for me to know about right now. Do we need to cut it out?
Folks, Jimmy Lee, my brother Jimmy Lee, he works for the Institute, and me and him like to shoot a lot of videos together. And we were tools November a year ago probably, and I guarantee we did over 75 to 100 videos. Him directing me, casting me, and God, that guy made me look good. Woo-hoo! Yeah.
I like Jimmy. Sometimes you gravitate towards certain people, and I gravitate every time I'm around Jimmy because he's always going to share a nugget of wisdom, a good laugh, something. He's always got something valuable he's bringing into whatever conversation or room he's in.
That's my Jimmy pose right there, baby.
And I felt bad because we were all sitting there, and I was really... I try not to pick people's brain if they're not on, but I was like, I was dying to know. I asked him, I said, what's Jimmy's missions, values, and purpose? And he kind of stopped for a second, and he thought about it, and then he shared, and I'm going to go ahead and leave that to me. If you want to know, stop by, see him, talk to him, ask him what his mission, value, and purpose is, and he will be more than happy to share with you. But of course,
his mission value is to change the industry, improve the industry. I know exactly what it is.
Well, there you go.
What his values is, dedicated his life to the automotive repair industry. To bring it up, make it better, do better with the industry, help one shop at a time be better. That's why me and him click so well, because him, Cecil, Rick White, Kent Bullard, all of us think the same thing. And I can add Bill Haas to this same deal. Bill Haas has got the same love and compassion. And that's Sarah's dad, okay? With AIM, all right? That's such a cool name. I love it, AIM.
And speaking of people who are dedicated to the industry and helping everyone in the industry, let's talk about our other event. Well,
okay.
Actually...
We're moving,
but I'm actually
Are we changing gears or are we downshifting?
I don't know enough about cars to have a funny insert here, so I'll just say yes. Let's talk about Toastmasters. Tell me a little bit, because you're the one that orchestrated this. I really put that on the back burner, and so that was a fault of mine. I put this on the back burner and I didn't sign up and until you were like, get your ass in gear. We're doing this.
Yeah, we're doing this.
And we did it. And it's different because to me, when you think about events, right? Bettering yourself, going to different things so you can make your shop good. events are where you go to get your inspiration for things.
Right.
Trainers is where you go to get your guidance on how to do things.
Right.
And Toastmasters is like putting into practice certain things, the way you communicate. So first off, you knew a bunch of people there. Do you want to talk about who you knew, faces you saw, hands you shook?
Well, Craig O'Neill, okay, with Autoflow. And folks, if I was starting my business from the ground up, Autoflow would be involved with my business, because then I would be doing a lot of retail activity. And right now, my business is mostly fleets. His system can really apply to what we do. And Winston is looking at that right now. Craig O'Neill, Autoflow. Craig is the one that's got me involved. His inspiration to come into Toastmaster, it's his fault. I blame it all on him because I'm so amazed by the way he delivers a message, the way he talks, okay? And then I'll watch Sarah and Tracy. Them two got involved, and they made a heck of a show there. And I just watched them. And now both of these girls are doing classes and teaching, and Tracy just got finished with her being a keynote speaker at ATE. ATE. It's over on the West Coast. Yeah. How cool is that? So anyway, I've been trying to be part of Toastmasters for well over a year. Well over a year. And I keep threatening, I keep threatening, I keep threatening. By George, I ain't threatening no more. I'm gonna get this thing done. I'm gonna make it fit in my world, make it fit me. And that first meeting, I I'm sure everybody on there probably had a clue who I was, but I knew half of them. They're my friends. I've known them forever, you know. And to learn how to deliver a message, and I actually got to talk. They sent me a report. I actually spoke for like 28 seconds. Ooh. And that's a major accomplishment for a guy that speaks for over an hour sometimes. And I sat on my hands the most time because I'm trying to learn. And I didn't know that they have a key word that every time you talk, you're supposed to apply the key word. And it was phrase back in, if I remember right, or pause. It was pause. That was the key word. And well, I thought they were talking about, well, when you talk, just pause.
Yeah.
Okay, well, pause. And then I noticed everybody's using the word pause. Guess who didn't use the word pause?
You did good though. I mean, too, like you were saying, you like what the kids would call it nowadays is you like to yap. So you did a good job. You kept it short, you kept it sweet, you kept it funny. You had people laughing at what you were saying.
I did, didn't I?
Oh yeah, and you had their brain going. They said, "Huh, that makes sense." But it was a cool experience, and I'm glad that they voluntold you that you were going to speak. Because sometimes people get all like, "Oh, maybe I won't. It's my first meeting." No, they said, "Get up here, Buckaroo, Buck and Bob. We're gonna have you yap."
The plate, you're fixing to swing. We're throwing you a ball.
And you swung. You may not have said the word pause, but you swung. You swung.
Yep.
But it was a fun experience to see all these people, and you can tell who's been doing it a minute and who hasn't. Like you can see the skill set in action.
Yes. I don't know if I'll ever be that good.
Okay.
But I want to try to be better.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of mine. See, folks, you're going to be jealous of this. I had Rick White in my truck for 4 hours, one-on-one. If you think I didn't take advantage of that man's knowledge for 4 hours, he didn't get a chance to close his eyes one time. I was asking him questions. I was getting them answers, or I was getting more questions.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was one of my things. What do you see? How can you improve me in my talking and my speech? And he gave me some great pointers, and the value that man shares with me is like Craig O'Neill told me. You did a great job, John. And to think the ask, can you speak English, was a huge deal.
Yeah. It was fun. And, poor Rick. Maybe we should buy him a fruit basket or something, send it to his house.
I'll go get him a trophy.
Oh, okay, there you go. It'll be shaped like an ear.
Yeah, road warrior.
Well, speaking of Rick, the last adventure we were just on was the Texas two-step training.
It was.
For those of you who are not familiar with the Texas two-step training, it is a yearly event that John Firm, or I should say Buckaroo Buck and Bob, whatever, whoever you know him by, and speakers go to Texas to show Texas shop owners, technicians, and service advisors some love out here. I hear that there, up until recently, there hasn't been a lot going on in Texas when it comes to training. Is that correct?
Oh, that's correct. When I started it, well, let me rephrase that. When we started this 3 years ago, Mike Clary, Rick White, and John Firm, and we like to include Oscar, but he's mostly MIA, okay? But he was on the ground floor. He was on the breaking floor of this whole thing when we made it up 3 years ago. Nothing going on in Texas. There's a few private events. Beamers was always held here. The transmission show down in San Antonio was always here. But there was not much for the automotive industry unless O'Reilly's put on a class, CTI, CarQuest Training Institute put on a class, WorldPac put on a class, and you could go to Zoom meetings and all that. So I started Texas two-step training, and that a few people looked at us, people talked about it. And then the second year, oh, we had a hell of a show running up the eastern side of Texas. And a lot of people were just raving about how awesome this group, Texas Two Steps, got something going on. The next thing you know, guess what? We got stuff happening in Texas more now than ever before. Thoroughbreds coming here to do a live training in Carrollton, Texas this month. I forgot to mention that.
Oh,
Tektronic is going to happen this month down in Houston. You know, we have things happening in Texas now. Was it because of Texas two-step training? I don't know. But did it make people start thinking about what market do we got down there? Maybe it did.
maybe it did.
I hope it did. I
Yeah.
hope more people come to Texas. I hope more people do training because Texas is such a big, diversified state.
Uh-huh.
We need it, folks. We need all kind of training down here.
Mm-hmm. And this year so usually we go 4 different cities, 4 different days. This year we started in DFW, then we went to Austin, followed by San Antonio, then Houston. You know, this is the most I've been, I don't travel much. I'm a homebody. So
you don't travel at all.
I don't travel at all. I'm a homebody.
Your uncle has got you out of your shell.
Yes, this is the longest I've been away from home in a while. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm also in my Bucky's pajamas. I have been in my pajamas all day. I haven't been home. I've been relaxing all day. I cooked. I've had a glass of wine. It is my chill out day. But with that being said, fantastic. I've met some awesome people that showed up for training. Some people who really care about the well-being of their shop and doing the job right the first time, getting their customers' cars in order and to them as fast as possible. I did want to ask you, because this is your third rodeo with the TTST. Was there something at the events that kind of stood out to you, or tell me something that you really liked that we did this year, or a memory that stood out?
So one of the changes we did this year is on the Tuesday and Thursday places we did train, Austin, San Antonio, we did 2 4-hour classes. Each instructor did, okay? And they did a different class. So that gave more of the students a different opportunity to go to a different class versus what we did Saturday classes were all 8-hour classes. So we're going to change that, and we're only going to produce 4-hour classes. So if you want to go see Mike, you can do for 4 hours. Then you can go see Coralie for 4 hours. And we're going to change it to where we're doing Friday and Saturday, 2 full days of training and 2 nights of fun. Friday night and Saturday night. We got some things putting together for that. So we're going to wind up being back in Dallas-Fort Worth, right in the city. We're 10 minutes from DFW Airport, so you can fly in. I'll pick you up at the airport. Just ask Tanika Brown. I'm sorry, did I say Brown? I meant Hayes. Just ask Tanika Hayes, downshifting with Tanika. God, I love that. About an experience being picked up with John Firm at DFW Airport. Send Coralie a message. She'll tell you too. It's been exciting at the airport. I love it.
Oh yeah, can't miss him.
Oh, you'll hear me coming from around the corner.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So I do want to take a minute here and just shout out who I think was an MVP when I'm talking about attendees. Katie and Britt. That was awesome. Katie and Britt not only attended classes in Dallas Fort Worth,
Not
not
decent.
only, not only were they, how do I want to say this? They were so invested in the well-being and betterment of their shop that they were concerned because they couldn't find a babysitter. And John
Yeah.
said, bring them
When
kids.
I found that out, I text Katie. I said, "Don't let the baby stop you. Bring them.
Bring them
Bring
kids.
them. We're perfect. I'll babysit. We'll go play." And
Oh,
the little girl's so beautiful,
yeah. Oh,
so
yeah.
sweet. I mean, they could have tore up the room. It wouldn't bother nobody in there.
Mm-mm.
But them girls read their books, watched their TV, bounced on their mama's knee, and one went into Mike Clary's class and sat back at the back of the room and played on the floor with Brett. They had a great time. They got to learn
Yeah. And they could have easily utilized that as an excuse to not go. And they didn't.
easily.
They
You know
didn't.
that's what we're going to do next year. I talked to Tanner today
Mm-hmm.
about the the health care of the little children
Mm-hmm.
that may attend TTST next year. He has the organization. These people are not your 16-year-old babysitters. These are professional babysitters. They are trained to help needs kids. They are trained to take care of kids in case something happens, emergency school, um, a medical emergency event might take place. They're trained
Mm-hmm.
to take care of it. So we're not talking about bringing
Oh, Sally and
somebody that's
Susie.
yeah,
Yeah.
not somebody. Don't say that because that may be the person we bring
Oh.
in. You know, we're not bringing in an unprofessional trained person. This person is going to be trained that you can leave your children with while you attend class.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, when you go to church and they have a nursery back at the back, it's just somebody they have back in the nursery that loves kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And some of the big churches actually have people that are trained to take care of your kids. I'm not saying all churches were that. I just when I was growing up, let's go back. Let me say it proper. When I
Back
was
in
growing
my
up,
day.
back when I was born. Anyway, uh, that's all it was. You know, my mom played the piano. She didn't go back there to the nursery, but the lady that was back there in the nursery loved kids, and she'd take care of you till you got unruly, like Buckaroo Buck and Bob would do, and then send his little butt out to the auditorium get it whooped.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
They
you
didn't
didn't
whip
want
you
to let
enough.
no, you didn't want to leave the nursery and go out front because if you went back out to the big auditorium when you was a little kid,
Uh-huh.
my daddy he would when we left the church house, you have to worry about it. You're gonna get it.
Oh, yeah, you gonna get that ass whipped. Did he make you pick your own switch out of the tree?
Oh, he used the belt.
Oh, he got you with a good
Yeah,
old
it
cow
was
leather.
corporal punishment.
Hell yeah. He didn't whip you hard enough.
He beat the hell out of the bed.
Uh-huh.
I was daddy's favorite little baby boy.
Oh, you were the youngest too, right?
I was.
Yeah, you were. I bet you were bad as
Everybody,
hell.
all the others heathens.
Oh, because I know your sisters. Your sisters mean as hell. They're probably
Yeah,
mean
yeah,
because they got the whippings that you didn't.
that's right.
Yeah, badass little kid. I can already tell. But so recapping, you were like, bring them kids down.
Yeah, bring them
Don't
on
let
down.
that stop you. Because as much as y'all want to learn, we want to be able to make sure that you're there and there's no interruptions. And we sat down and we talked about it and we said,
In it.
yeah, if this is a common factor, because I got that phone call too. Oh, the kids are off of school. We couldn't find a babysitter. Yeah, like that was the thing we talked about. Let's get a babysitter so people
Yeah. And it might
aren't having
take
to
2
worry
or
about
3
that.
babysitters. And
Yeah.
I say let's get them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
You know, I would hate for you to not attend because you couldn't find a babysitter for your family member. And then Christmas rolls around and you're not able to buy Christmas presents for your kids because you're not getting the training you need. Right?
You're right.
If we can alleviate that pain point, I am happy to do so. I am
You're right.
happy to do so.
And having the availability for families that have special needs kids
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm.
going to be such a huge blessing because those people are tied down so hard.
Mm-hmm.
They just can't leave their child with somebody.
Yeah.
It has to be a trained person.
Yep.
So the blessing that we have is Tanner knows these people
Mhm.
who we need to get involved with. And the great thing about it, Tanner told me, they're in Dallas Fort Worth.
Yep. I was talking to, it was actually, I forget his name. Apologies. The guy who works for him, it's his girlfriend. She works at that company. And
Right.
yeah, I've got all their information. So we're going to be getting that in order and making sure that we take care of any family situations that's going on. You know, if you need to come down for a few days, bring your kids with you, go afterwards. There's a bunch to do in DFW. There's a
You
bunch to
watch
do.
you watch this, okay? When we do this and we do it right,
Yeah.
the rest of the trade shows around the United States are going to pick up on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go crazy. I
I'm
promise you.
surprised they haven't done it yet. I'm
Well,
surprised.
after this drops,
Yeah.
they're going to look into it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I think we need to look into it, find an attorney that knows a little, or just reach out to the advocates of the child care industry,
Yeah.
you know, and see what we need to do so we're prepared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
You know,
we're working on that. That's our hope and our dream. And if we can make it happen, it's gonna happen. So keep an eye out for that.
oh,
Oh, go ahead.
no, that's okay.
Oh,
Oscar
okay.
shoot me a text. It's like Oscar's listening to this show right now. I don't know why.
uh, so we go to these four cities, we meet amazing people, we find a pain point, and now we know for next year how to help out so we can get y'all into some training and have that stress level lowered. Let's talk a little bit about the trainers who were there because, you know, I drove my own car. Me and Corley, we got in my own car and we drove and we had a blast. I don't know
I
how,
made Mike and Rick drive my car.
while you took a nap. Yeah.
Took a nap in the
So,
back seat.
yeah, you made them fly down here just to chauffeur you around. Yep.
Exactly. So they can see Texas and I can sleep.
Yep. Yep. But talk about powerhouses in the industry as well. I mean, everybody who attended a class was beaming afterwards, whether it was the technical training with Mike or the shop owner manager training with Rick or the service advisor training with Corley. I actually, you know, with my background, I used to train young men and women how to answer phones. And so when I was in Corley's class, she had a section talking about answering phones. And we were chatting. I said, "Do you want me to be the customer? Because I don't know anything about cars. I don't." So it's a good test. I'll call in and be the customer because I don't know nothing about nothing. But I don't think she was expecting it. I do voices when I do these phone calls.
Voices.
Yes. So I would call in, I'd pretend I was an old lady, or I'd call in and pretend I was a dude who didn't know nothing about nothing, or I'd call in. At one point, I called in, you probably won't get this. Do you know SpongeBob SquarePants?
Yeah, I know
No.
who SquarePants is.
You know Mr. SquarePants? Well,
Yeah, I do.
I was the starfish.
I'm trying. Oh, my vapor lock was. I think it was Cutter's favorite show when he was growing up.
Gotcha.
That's how I know it. I can't remember if it was Cutter or Cashin, but I think it was Cutter's.
Well, gotcha. Yeah. Well, I called in pretending I was Patrick Star. He's a big old guy who kind of, you know.
Don't go there.
Oh, man. But we had a blast and we learned a lot. Outside of the Texas two-step training, not only did we teach, but we also had a little bit of fun along the way. Ate good food. And then we went to the Alamo. And you were telling me that was one of your favorite parts of the extracurriculars.
To see Corley from Canada, not know anything about the Alamo, to absorb that in,
Mm-hmm.
that was one of Rick's number one things he had to see while he was in San Antonio was the Alamo. Mike is a huge history buff like me. And me and Mike, we go back behind what your normal tourist trap person would see. So we know so much more history because we study it, okay? And we kind of know what happens, what took place. And you can tell the marketing gimmicks that people put together
Yep.
and try to change things up so people will want to attend the Alamo, okay? if the Alamo didn't have clean sidewalks and was destroyed like it used to be, nobody would go see it.
Mm.
You know, if the Alamo didn't have the different things fixed and the roof was fixed, nobody wanna go down there. It'd be a junk pile, rock pile, you know? But they cleaned it up.
Yeah.
They made it look so good.
It was real nice, and the weather was good too. If we went in April,
Couldn't have got better weather,
it would have
promise you.
been
It wasn't hot and it
horrible.
wasn't raining.
Mm-hmm.
The wind was blowing, keeping it nice and cool.
Yes, exactly. And we got some good pictures, and you
Corley carrying the flag, yeah.
I was about to say, you made her step outside of her comfort zone. You made the smallest, tiniest person in our group carry a large flag. I'm surprised she didn't blow away in the wind.
I'm surprised he didn't catch her and holler around. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She looked so good. I did a great video. I posted it on my Facebook, Buckaroo Buck and Bob,
Mm-hmm.
and she had a heck of an experience. Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It was fun. It was fun. And then we had some German food after, which I had never had German food before. So that was a
Best
cool
chicken and
experience.
dumplings.
Was it good?
Split pea soup is the one to get when you're there.
Oh.
Several people told me when you go to that place, get the split pea soup. I love peas. I don't know how I missed it, but I think there were some split peas in my chicken and dumplings because it was good.
Good.
It was so good.
Yeah, I saw they had homemade root beer, and I've been on a root beer kick recently. And it was good.
I had one, folks.
I had
And
two.
then she came by and poured me more. So it's still the same glass. So that's
Yeah,
one.
same glass. So just one. Oh, but it was good. But with that, I think the big takeaway I want people who are listening or watching to take away from this is find something outside of your comfort zone and do it. Whether it's Toastmasters,
We
training,
call that the growth zone, not comfort zone. Comfort zone when you relax. That's when you're recharging. Outside your comfort zone is the growth zone. That's the definition of it.
Mm-hmm.
Grow. Folks, do stuff. Grow.
Mm-hmm.
Don't stay in that pattern. Don't stay in them habits.
Mm-hmm.
Grow.
Don't become stagnant, right?
Yes.
Find something outside of what you're doing. Go to it.
Then grow.
Pause, grow, get invested. Get invested.
That's the big word. A lot of us Texans don't know what invested means. We got to put money into this thing?
Stock your pond with fish.
Amen.
There you go.
That's Texas. That's true Texas.
There we go.
I don't care if it's Texas or not. That's pure country.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put some more fish in that water, folks.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't talk about the surprise.
The surprise. Well, there was a lot of surprises.
They had no clue we was coming to their shop.
Oh, I didn't
Kerrville,
go.
Texas. Hey,
you haven't told me about that yet. So yeah, tell me.
Oh, we invited you two girls, but your two girls had something else on your mind.
We had work we were doing.
San Antonio. Y'all going back to Buc-ee's to get that outfit. What y'all is doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forgot all about that. Tell me about it.
So we're getting ready to leave. We're sitting there drinking our orange juice, coffee, stuff like that for breakfast.
Oh, okay.
And we're getting ready to leave Austin and head to San Antonio. And Rick says, I'd like to go see Katie in them shop. And I looked it up. I said, just an hour down the road, and we're right over there by 281. Rick, it's not out of the way at all. Of course, it went back to the north and back to the west. It was an hour and a half out of the way, but we didn't need to be in San Antonio till 8 o'clock next morning anyway. And I don't mind keeping everybody up late.
I know you don't. That's why me and Corley rode together and went separate.
So off we get in the truck. I start driving, and we're driving along. He says, where are we going? I said, we're going to Knox Diesel. And we pulled up out front, and I got to meet Walt. Not Walter, Walt, Brett's dad. Got to meet, Jordan, was that his name? And works with Katie and not Brett, and see their shop. We took some pictures. Oh my gosh, it was cool. And Rick connected. It was so cool. And I can't go on enough about Katie and Brett. They're just super awesome folks. Hey, if you get a chance, you want to know somebody in the diesel industry, call Brett. If you get a chance, you want to know somebody that's still in the military, that's active reserve, call Katie.
Mm-hmm.
She's Miss Badass.
Oh, yeah. Because I went to call her about signing up for TTST, and I got someone at the front, and they said, "Oh yeah, she had to go out and fly some planes, but she should be back tomorrow." And I was like, "Fly some planes?" I said, "Okay." Yeah, she went out, flew some planes.
I got me a new hero.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, she can be our mascot.
So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to reach out to everybody that was at the TTST event and get a review. I would like to see a video of those two with their review. I bet that's going to be awesome.
But yeah, they were really MVPs. They did not let anything stop them from coming into training.
They came to Dallas-Fort Worth and they came to Austin.
Yep.
And I believe if I'd have reached out to Tanner and told him we was in Dallas-Fort Worth, he didn't see it on Facebook till the night of. The Friday night, he reached out to me, said, "You're in Houston?" I said, "Yeah. We're coming. We want to be there." And he signed up. Then he calls me. He's like, "Hey, the lady that owns this place, she wants to come too." And I said, "Who's that?" He said, "My wife." And she's in for free. Bring her on.
Yeah, bring her on.
Yeah, sign her up. I got a place right for her.
Yeah.
And they found a babysitter and they come on. And that, folks, is what triggered this. They had children too that had fun. And that's what triggered all about our babysitting adventure.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited about that. And her two young men that came for Mike Clary's class, oh, they loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And they all got T-shirts. Everybody that came to TTST got T-shirts.
I'm surprised. Corley brought this huge bag with her. That thing was bigger than she was. And
now
every
she's
time
gonna take a bunch of stuff back.
Oh yeah, every time we stopped at Buc-ee's, she'd come out with 2 bags. And we stopped at 6 or 7 Buc-ee's. So she got her some good stuff. Well, that was our adventures for the past month. Plenty of more to come. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for next year for TTST. I'm excited to continue going to these events, meeting people. If y'all see us at any of these events, stop by, say hi, hug our necks, let us know you're there.
Take a picture with me. Mr. More Money.
Mo Money, you can't miss him.
We didn't talk about that guy.
Yeah, we need to have him on the show.
He's coming. He's got him some gold shoes ordered to go with his gold jacket
and his gold hat.
And I think we got a pair of gold pants found.
Oh.
He's gonna have to lose a little bit more weight because the biggest they got is 38.
Well, maybe we could take him. We can put
some black stripes down the side, make it a little wider.
Black stripes down the side, and we can write on there on the black stripes, Mo Money.
Mr. Mo Money.
Mr. Mo Money. My apologies.
The evil shop owner. As I follow Mike Allen, Confessions of a Shop Owner. He was the first one. I'm just following his footsteps.
There you go. Well, we keep an eye out for what we've got going on. If you are interested to see where we're going to be at, follow us on Facebook. It's going to be Texas Two-Step Training. For more videos of Mileage May Vary on Facebook or on YouTube. We're looking at adding these onto other platforms. That's in the works. A lot of y'all probably don't know. Everything that we do is just John and I. So it's not like we have a huge team. So we're figuring it out as we go. And if you have any tips or tricks for us, let us know for sure. But we're making stuff happen.
We are, that's for sure. Yeah.
But all right, I think that's where I'm calling it today. I got some more relaxing to do. Well, I've got that meeting. We've got that meeting. So
6:30.
Meeting then relaxing. But I appreciate you. It was fun.
I love you.
I love you. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
See y'all later.
Hey, you're not running this shop alone, and we want to hear your voice in this community. Got a story, a challenge, a question you want us to tackle? Scan the QR code or hit the link in the notes and send it our way. You might just hear it on a future episode.